Hey everyone, welcome back to Body Haven Soaps. My name is Darlene. I am the owner and creator of Body Haven Soaps, and the whole goal of this channel is to help fellow creators create. Now, today's video, we are going to do an emulsified whipped body polish. So there is a difference between a body scrub and a body polish. A body scrub usually has a surfactant in it, and it's created to slough off the dead skin and cleanse all of the stuff away, okay? So that's more of a rejuvenating. Now, when we look at the body polish, it's got more of a moisturizing effect. So there's more humectants in it, there's more oils and things that bring that moisturization. Yes, there is some exfoliant in there that does help slough away that top layer of dead skin. However, it is high in moisturizing capabilities, and that is why it's called a body polish. So this is an emulsified whipped body polish. So it's designed to have large amounts of humectant and moisturizing capabilities, as well as some exfoliants to it. So that's what today's recipe is about. If that's something that interests you, continue to follow along. If you don't mind giving my video a like, subscribing if you'd like to see more videos like this, it would help support my channel and I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get into the video. Okay guys, so there's a few things that we need to start off with. Now, as I said, this has a high amount of a humectant in it. So we are using glycerin, okay? And we're also using xanthan gum. So when you use xanthan gum, you always want to dissolve it into something like a glycerin. Glycerin is the one I always use to prevent lumps. If you were to put this right into a formula or into water, you are going to have lumps everywhere. So always dilute it and soften it in glycerin first. Okay, and the amount of glycerin we have is 88.5 grams. And then the amount of xanthan gum we have is 0.68 grams. So enough that this is going to be our huge humectant. This is going to help with stabilization and feel of the product. And I really like this in there. So we are going to mix the xanthan gum with our glycerin to dissolve completely first. And you just want to stir until you do not see any granulars in there anymore. It's dispersed evenly. There's no lumps. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. And then we're going to take a small amount of distilled water to finish hydrating this xanthan gum. So we are going to put in 47.5 grams of distilled water. And we're going to stir this until it all becomes blended evenly. And then we will set this aside to let that xanthan gum completely hydrate before we add it to our mixture. So I always suggest that you do this first. And then we just set this aside. And then we'll move on to our melted phase. So we have in here, we have shea butter, which is a great butter for this. I tend not to go with the super expensive ones. This is organic refined shea. But I mean, there is way more expensive ones like avocado butter and hemp seed butter and things like that. This is a wash-off product, so using those high expensive butters in there, it looks good on a label, but you're really not benefiting the product any. Okay, so we have 122.5 grams of the organic refined shea butter. And you don't have to use organic. You could use whatever butter you want. This is completely interchangeable. And then we have some grapeseed oil. Now I choose to use grapeseed oil in this because it is a fast absorbing oil. And the whole goal of this product is to bring up the moisture of the skin. So with the glycerin and the grapeseed oil, we're going to get that nice moisturization of the skin when this product is used. And I have 61 grams of the grapeseed oil. And then because we don't want this to be an extremely slippery mess in the shower when somebody's using it, creating that slippery surface, we want this to turn into more of a lotion when they use it to aid in that moisturization. We are going to use a small amount of emulsifying wax. I am just using Emulsifying NF. It is a wash-off product. So we are going to put in 6.8 grams of the emulsifying wax. And then for stability, we're going to add acetyl alcohol, which is going to be 6.8 grams as well. There is some conditioning abilities in this, and it also helps stabilize the product. So this now I am going to put onto my double boiler and allow that to melt down. And then we'll be right back. Okay, so I have pulled this off right before it's all melted because I do not want to get that shea butter too warm, but you want it to be completely translucent so you have that shea completely melted. I just like to stir the last little bit. So we are at 132 Fahrenheit. Okay, now that we have that all cooled down, or all melted down, okay, and it is completely translucent, what we want to do is we want to start adding in some of our other ingredients, not the preservative yet, and it's really going to depend on what preservative you choose to use. I am using Dermal Plus today in the rinse off product, but there is many different types of preservative and none of them are equal, so do your research. Okay, we are going to add in polysorbate 80. Okay, now the reason that we're adding this in is, once again, we do not want this to be a slipping hazard in the tub. We want to do the best of our ability to emulsify that. And we want this to kind of work into that lotion feel. So the polysorbate 80, I have 68 grams. And we just want to stir that in until it's well combined. Check our temperature. We are at 120. We are going to take that glycerin, distilled water, and anthem gum mixture. As you guys can see, this is quite thick now. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's quite thick in there, okay, because it's hydrated. We are going to add this in there, and we've already given you the measurements for this. This is just the mixture we made. We're just going to pour it into here. And all of this helps drop the temperature so that we're not damaging the preservative and other sensitive ingredients. And you're just going to stir until this is all combined in there. And you'll see that this becomes quite jelly consistency, and that's what we're looking for. So you just want to keep stirring this and making sure everything is well combined. We are definitely at a low enough temperature to add in our fragrance oil and our preservative. Our fragrance oil, we have 13.5%. I am using black cherry balm. fragrance oil. Make sure there is different rates for fragrance oils. Fragrance oils are pretty close to the same, but just double check your usage rate for different ones. So 13.5 grams of the Black Cherry Balm fragrance oil. And then we are going to have 13.5 grams of the Dermal Plus. This amount may change depending on what preservative you're using. Your temperature may change. It's really important that you guys understand preservatives and ensure that you're double checking that and you are preserving your products properly. And I'm just going to stir this for a good minute or so, just to make sure this is well incorporated. And then we are just going to set this aside and allow this to cool. We want it to cool down quite a bit. So I'll bring you back once we get to that point. But we want the solid parts of this to start to become solid again. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Hey guys, so now you can see this has become this jelly consistency. This is what we're looking for. So you're going to get it to this point with all that anthem gum. And we didn't use a large amount, but it works amazingly well with all of these ingredients together. So now we are going to take a blender. And I'm just using my hand mixer for this. I don't need to put this into my big mixing bowl for the batch size that I'm doing. And we're just going to whip this. So you can see the consistency that we have. Now this can get a little bit messy, but now I've tried it without whipping it, and I just don't get the same reaction, even though I know this doesn't create a lot of volume. It just puts some air in there, allowing the sugar to stir in a little better. But you could try it without whipping it and see what you think. Maybe you have a different opinion. It doesn't really change the volume. I just like the texture it creates. When I first whipped it the very first time, I thought maybe it would gain volume, that type of stuff, but it did not. But then I like the finished product. So this is why we are whipping this. Okay, so now it's got that nice opaque color to it and it disperses a little better in the sugar. So now we're going to take the sugar and we are going to put all of this in to our sugar mixture. And the amount of sugar I have here, guys, is going to be 931.5 grams. And it takes a minute with this to get this all mixed in. That's why I do like whipping it. It does mix in a little bit easier, but just take your time and get all of the sugar mixed in there. Okay, so let's hope you guys can see the consistency of this. It's just absolutely amazing texture for a scrub. Okay, so it's very, hopefully you guys can see that texture, but it is amazing. I absolutely love this body polish. Now I am going to divide this into two. to simply do my colors. And I did a bit smaller batch than I normally would. I had some people comment that the batches were too big. However, you should know how to formulate. So I do have a video on how to change a recipe to a formula and a formula to a recipe. So if you're confused at that, you should go back and watch it. There's many videos out there besides mine. Knowledge is power, guys. So the two colors that we are going to use, I'm going to add some Snow White from Mad Mica into this one. And I am going to use Tempest from Mad Mica into this one. And then you'll have to stir till you get the color consistency you want. I'm going to work the white into this one first. And that just helps keep it white instead of that opaque color that it can turn to. And then we'll mix in the Tempest color. You just gotta be patient when you're mixing the Okay, so I have both my colors together. And then we just simply take our glass jars. I'm going to do a little scoop of white, and it does settle in there, guys. And then I will do a scoop of the black cherry. Scoop of the white. Now I did use the blender for this one to get that color to mix in, so it is a little looser, so you can absolutely loosen it up doing that. Or you could let it sit afterwards. And just like so, guys. I will fill up the rest of my jars, and then I'll show you how much this makes. Okay guys, so this made 5 8-ounce containers for the batch size that I made today, and as you can see, you can do different colors, different things that you would like to do in there. But I'm just going to give you an example of how this works. So we'll take a little bit of the white and a little bit of the purple, okay, and you just add some water. And it's a great exfoliation, but you're gonna see this start to turn into a milky liquid. I like it because it holds the sugar really nice, so you get that good exfoliation. But you can see it kind of turns into cream, right? Into like a lotion type of formula, which is highly moisturizing as it removes the dead skin. and it's got a nice clean rinse off. I feel like I'm stretching my arms here. But it leaves the skin nice, clean, supple. So it just kind of makes like a scrub and lotion together. And this is why I love body polishes. All right, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, please ask them below. Any videos that you would like to see, once again, ask them below. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up to help support my channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe for the next time a video comes available. All right, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day.